true. After 21 years?
What's happening? What's going on?
Mom, what's a cheetah troop?
Halt! Both performances are prohibited in Castle Aberline. No performances! No performances! You there! Answer her!
You guys are invited too!
Stop! No performances! No performances!
Come join the fun!
Hit me like I might get over, but you could give me in no corner. I know I can make a comeback. Ace this round and finish this game now. Got the power on my shoulders. Yeah, you know that I'm a soldier. You could keep me off my guard, but you can't keep me from my honor.
I feel like the floor is lava. The energy's getting higher. You're saving my arms. 'Cause I know just what I got. I got you like na-na-na. And you know I hold the power. This feeling I love. Oh yeah. Making my grind good to great. So don't stand in my way. Standing tall and I won't fall over. We are better than great, good. We are better than great. We send our woman away. We are burning, it don't change. Great. We are better than great.
Can't get it great, I'm better than great. I play my own role, I be kinda greatest.
Hawk aerial assault unit awaiting orders, TACOM. Caution. I am augmented with experimental military hardware. Delta security clearance is required to view my sub-directives. Optimizing weapon configuration for combat environment. Assessing battlefield conditions. Mission Command has authorized the use of lethal force.
Always on the way.
Your team is banning.
Sir, what's your command?
Your team is banning.
Time to drop the beat of the
Your
flash.
team is banning.
A fanny ban so far. Oh, with a bomb in secondary from Mobaguild. I'm Cooking is up next with the ban. Who do we think we're gonna see? So far, we're looking at pretty much primarily jungle and roam bans. I can't say I blame them. The jungle roams are still your primary threats within all of those. You know, Angela, that is a good ban, you know, because she can still be ran as a flex pick between the roam and the mid. I think knocking her off the list is definitely a good idea, but not as much as, you know, anybody who's seen me cast before, anybody who's been around me before knows Valentina, man, ban her up. She is, she's a problem. But maybe that's just me. I got that PTSD. One Valentina too many, and now I got depression. Mobaguild, third ban up, Guinevere. Guinevere's been so strong since the recent patches have come out. You know, not only this past week, but a week and 2 weeks prior. She's just been so strong that most teams I've seen just really don't have the patience to deal with her. So she does make for a character that is just easier to ban out. With that being said, Shadow9 does take the opportunity to lock in a fast select Nolan. But with that Nolan being the first hero picked up, how vulnerable are they in their team's composition having such an essential character selected first? Oh, we saw the Valentina. Oh man, you guys saw it first here. Zeke, the Freak, the Geek, Nasty. So I'm so happy. Poppy Steph, I hope you goated. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Alyssa picking up next, locking in the Kaja, giving a little bit of vision in regards to the roam, but not a super huge loss because they don't have that early show with the EXP, because they still have the flexibility to use that hero there if they so need to. With that being said, I think Ryuk is probably going to go in the direction of Rome. But back on the Shadow 9 side of the house, it looks like they are locking in. Leviathan does lock in the Lilia, and Alan is, you know, he's phasing through his options. He's thinking to himself, you know, Valentina, Kaja, these are shifty heroes. You know, Lilia's got a couple slowing effects, but what can I really bring to my team to effectively shut them out? And he decides to up Ryan, who picks the Arlet. You know, a lot of strong CCs coming from this hero, a lot of dash capabilities coming from him, but with the blinking capabilities of the Lilia, of the Arlet, of the Nolan, it would make Phoveus a really good pick if the Mobaguild guys are up for it. Definitely a strong hero that they could run on the EXP that brings a whole lot of magic damage, which isn't gonna, you know, mess with the Valentina damage output. I definitely think that could be a good hero if they choose to go in that route. Showing an Irithyll, some good mobility, you know, it's always a good option. I definitely think if it were me, I would probably be looking at a hero with a little bit more burst capabilities. That way you can take advantage of the Kaja, his Divine Judgment when he grabs and pulls somebody, you know, presumably he should be pulling them to their death. So I always want to look at characters that are going to be capable of actually executing that goal. Irithyll, in all of her glory, is she going to be that hero who's taking advantage? Ixia ban. Ixia, again, you know, her full barrage, you know, is it's still a threat. It's still so strong. I don't know that she is too big of a threat. Especially with a team composition like they have. Irithyll being a character who's capable of moving in and out of that ultimate. Again, that Kaja and Valentina having their ability to blink in and away from her area of threat. She's a good hero, but I don't know if she justifies the ban. Oh, man. Interesting team compositions right here. I'm really curious to see what the Mobaguild folks decide to lock in to seal the deal with their team. You know, what's going to be the icing on the cake? Because right now, they've got some pretty powerful toys on their team, but are they going to turn these Legos into a castle or just a toy car to run off the cliff? Hopefully, we get them to make a little Lego sword that they can... Ding, ding, ding.
Pain
and we see the Brody ban. That's I can't say I blame them, but we'll see it out. We'll see it out. Let's see. Only one left. He's the only one left. He decides to ban the Yuzong. Yuzong's he's a threat with the new patch notes that they made with the War Axe, getting that little bit of extra spell vamp from it now and adding that true damage feature onto it. Definitely is exploited and utilized by somebody like Yuzong in a way that is it could be malicious. So at this point, we gotta be seeing this EXP. We got to see the EXP. They might show their jungle, you know, outside of those two options. They don't really have anything unless they decided 3-man marksman. Tank Layla, baby. Really? The Barats? Man, I'm conflicted. I'm so conflicted because I feel like their team has a lot of utility, but like, where are the heroes that are supposed to be utilizing the utility? Like I said, Irithyll, in all of her glory, is a really strong hero, but what's she gonna do? What you gonna do and come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. Oh man. Bruno locked in, as well as they ain't locked in nothing yet. I'm hoping that we're gonna see a, what is that? Is that a Kufra? That's an interesting hero selection. All those blinks that we were talking about, I mean, definitely could be something that they try to utilize. But with that being said, it looks like the response is gonna be a Diggy. I feel like this team, the team composition is so It's so all over the place. I'm a little bit confused. But with that being said, just because I'm confused doesn't mean that it's confusing. It might I just might need to get good. I really want to see more damage because I feel like they don't really have any punishing heroes on that team. With that being said, I do favor the Shadow Nine's composition more, with the high burst damage coming from the Bruno, in his step-by-step damage roll, as well as the burst damage coming from Nolan. Once he pops that fracture on you, you're pretty much forced to go recall, unless you get into, that late game where you've pretty much built specifically to deny him that capability. On top of that, the slowing effects coming from the Lilia and the setting capabilities of Arlet, while also utilizing the Kufra to deny free access to move as you will. I like the composition. It's got good utility and it's got good damage. The question is do they have the good team, the good teamwork to really seal it in? Because as we've all seen, we can say, okay, well, this team comp is better than this team comp all we want, but at the end of the day, if there's a skill gap between them, we're gonna find out. And that's what happens next. We find out. In the land of Dawn, we find ourselves kicking a ball with Bruno. Only one left. So, first up, we're seeing Diggy, we're seeing Valentina moving towards the Shadow 9 side of house, trying to give up a little bit of vision, trying to put themselves in a position where if they the Shadow 9 folks do move out a little too far, they can get a little bit of free damage on them, but not having sent the little gremlin home far enough, it's just denied out. No free damage for them. With that being said, Bruno does take advantage of the high burst damage that he is gifted with in the early game, putting Irithyll at about a half bar health. Leviathan trying to zone out Poppy Steph YouTube, but they decide to take the path of non-fight. The Shadow 9 folks, they're present, but they're not getting good enough coverage together to really make use of anything yet. We do see the Shadow 9 folks starting to steal a couple creeps. We're seeing them be a little bit more invasive and trying to take advantage of the openings that they do have. Kufra dives in and they get a nice early kill on the Diggy. Free gold for Shadow 9. Day looking to press in and regretting that decision, getting hemmed up and a whole lot of damage wrapped up, executed by that fracture, by that Nolan. Free kill for he. 2-0. You already know that Nolan is on a roll. Diggy back up at it, trying to zone them out, trying to get that vision for the team. But again, Mobaguild has got so much utility on their team that they're pretty much built for team fights. But I don't see them having a whole lot of team fighting capability. Ryuk does get the Divine Judgment where he drags the enemy team in, but they don't have any damage to set into it. Arlet getting a final slash. Valentina secures him. Beautiful response from that Valentina. Ryuk taking a whole lot of damage. Luckily, the Irithyll shows up just in time to put down the Lilia. Man, it looks like they're really keen on trying to get into this this turtle right now. I'm looking at this, and I definitely can't help but think that Mobaguild, they're trying to figure out where their steps are right now. Such a smart team, but as we can see, the Shadow 9, their playstyle is a little bit different. right? They're playing a little bit more fluidly. They're playing a little bit more open and spread across the map. They don't have the unity or the division that we see in a lot of different teams. And with that being said, I think they might be having a hard time figuring out right now, where do we go next? Not having a whole lot of vision. We see a 3-man stack up on that gold lane. Leviathan trying to be present, trying to get ready to hem the enemy team up. Day showing up to house, putting up a little bit of damage, but not really being able to lock anything again. Instead of taking the 3-on-3 fight, they take the conservative play and back up. 1,000 gold lead in benefit of Shadow 9. Right now we see Nolan. He's trying to farm his way up. He's trying to get some type of bearing on himself and really getting ready to get this fight going with this Kaja. Kaja being a primary threat on the Mobaguild side of house, knows that if he can knock him down and slow his development, they're going to have a much easier time finishing this game. And a fracture pops up. Nolan secures the kill, baits him, hunts him, takes him. Man, what a beautiful play by Nolan. Shadow 9 showing up ready to play today. Barat's trying to be a little invasive, but not really having the set capability that he wants. Even with the 4-on-2 action, a dive just really isn't in their best interest. Oh man, what is this? They are doing such a good job of maintaining their health, especially with all of the pressure that Mobaguild was putting on that tower. Wow. Beautiful play by Shadow 9. Where is this? Check. I think it phased me out for a second. What's up, guys? I'm back. Sorry for that little technical difficulty on our side of the house. Not really being able to see the screen is kind of makes it for a difficult game to cast. But with that being said, we saw that final sweep coming from Arlet. We saw that beautiful set on the mid side of the house where they dive, took the turret, and have put themselves in an awesome capability to swoop in, pop up the Tyrant's Rage, and Day takes a backhand to the back of the head, drops like a fly in the night. Shadow 9 not messing around, leading by 7,000 gold, putting themselves in a destructive position, and Mobaguild decides to concede defeat? What?
Victory!
Wow, what madness is that? I'm quite curious to see what happened. You don't typically see somebody deciding to take the road for defeat, a surrender in a tournament lobby. pretty different strat.
What's up, everyone? As the next version of Mobile Legends Bang Bang inches ever closer, a lot of great new content will be coming your way. So here's a quick rundown. First up is our new hero, Cece. She's a super energetic yo-yo artist who exudes happiness 24/7. As a gifted performer, Cece loves to make people smile by putting on spectacular shows. Recently, she's been busy preparing her grand debut at Castle Aberline, a dreary place where public performances are banned. Let's hope Cece can lift the spirits of the downtrodden citizens and bring fun back to the city. As a fighter hero with skills that can be used on the move, Cece's forte is locking onto targets at close to medium range and dealing high single target sustained damage. And with skills designed to show off her vibrant persona, you'll definitely be enchanted by Cece's infectious personality after seeing her in action. Now, with Season 31 just around the corner, and it being the 4th season of the year, we want to remind everyone.
Almost showtime.
A theater troupe?
After 21 years?
What's happening? What's going on?
Mom, what's a theater troupe?
Halt! All performances are prohibited in Castle Aberline. No performances! No performances!
Your team is banning.
Hey, y'all. What's up?
What's your
I'm
command?
back,
Your
the
team
boy,
is
the
banning.
man, the myth, the legend, the thickest caster in NA, a true threat to the couch cushions. Back at it, we see the second match for Shadow 9 versus Mobaguild.
Your team is banning.
We see the typical Fanny and Mathilda bans right off of the bat. Blue side of the house is gonna go to the Mobaguild folks, which means they're gonna get a nice free early flex pick. I'm hoping that they utilize it to lock in a hero that helps them keep pace just a little bit better. Mobaguild, very fantastic players, but with a composition that doesn't complement itself, it's going to be very difficult for anybody, regardless of the skill level, to effectively work the map. We see a Minotaur ban and a Guinevere ban. I'm really surprised to see the Minotaur ban popping up, unless they're really fearing for those big team fight engagements, because he is such a good hero. He pops that Minoan Fury and is able to effectively CC the whole team while also being able to provide a nice little heal to the team itself. And that's such an effective tool, especially with the roamers and the support heroes truly being in their prime at this moment. With all of these different, the Flask of Oasis, the Oracle Shield, all of these different items meant to boost the abilities of the healers. So I get where Minotaur could be a threat, but is he enough of a threat to ban out? Only time will tell. We get an Angela as the flex pick. We said it last game too, a character that's definitely capable of either being the mid or roam for the team. So I don't think there's any harm or foul in locking that in for your S1 pick. Alan S is back. Ryan X with the first two picks on red side of the house for Shadow 9. Looking again at this Arlet. Strong hero, but can he work it? We do see another Bruno coming up. Can't say I blame them for that. If it's working, why change it? Papa Steffi looking at getting a Sicilian pick. Definitely an interesting pick. But the nice thing about the Angela is pretty much regardless of who they pick, the guys are going to be able to take their softer heroes into the fight. They do decide to lock in the Lilia and are going to back it up with an Ixia pick. A lot of nice damage coming from that hero, and again, the slowing effects from the Lilia are undeniable. The only thing that I'm not a huge fan of from the Mobaguild side of the house is the fact that the flex pick that they got out of the Angela is the fact that it could have gone roam or it could have gone mid. But with your S2 picking up the mage, I'm not a huge fan of just giving up that information so early. I definitely feel like Lilia should have been put on the second side of the draft process, you know, save her for later. Again, you know, such a great hero, but popping her off within the S2 slot with an Angela S1, you just kind of give up the little bit of information that you're hiding just really early. We see a Kaja pick by Shadow9, a whole lot of, you know, grab and pull capabilities with the Kaja being paired on top of the Arlet. Their pick-off capabilities are definitely there, you know, pairing them with that Bruno. Yuzong ban coming up. Can't say again, we blame them for that. You know, we said it last game, that War Axe just makes him so strong right now. Absolutely in the meta. And anybody who says otherwise is not a friend of mine. I'm cooking, getting the final ban on Shadow's side of the house. We do see the Roger ban coming again from the Mobaguild guys. Maybe I'm missing something. But I've not seen a whole lot from Rogers recently. Ballman comes up again as a ban, as the final ban. Again, War Axe being what it is right now, especially paired with that Brute Force breastplate. Definitely a threatening combination, definitely making a lot of these fighters like the Balmid, like Yuzong, like Xborg, heroes of that nature are just such a threat right now, especially if you decide to pair in that Hunter Strike for the extra movement speed as well as penetration. Definitely a threat. Oh, they're showing a Faramis, and they do lock in the Faramis. Oh man, yeah, they're adding a little bit of team fighting capabilities on top of their pickoff capabilities. Definitely a nice composition coming from the Shadow9 guys. Definitely showing off some in-game capabilities, some in-game knowledge, a little bit of wisdom with it. Whoever's been coaching these guys has definitely been coaching these guys. Day locking in the Akai. Great pick to be defensive against all of these pickoff heroes. You know, a great response to the Arlet, a great response to the Kaja, and definitely a great response to be able to break up the stacking that happens on top of the Faramis. This is so far a lot nicer of a team composition, and it looks like Pyros is going to lock in the Khalid. Huh. So the Khalid, Akai, Ixia, Lilia, and Angela against the Bruno, the Arlet, the Kaja, the Faramis, and can I get a little drum roll? Fusion, a high burst mage hero. Very interesting. Again, the burst capabilities of the Shadow9 team are just so there. They are that is a really nice team composition. Definitely a big fan of that. I think that the fighting composition coming from Mobaguild, you know, the Angela can definitely work with the Akai. She can definitely work with these heroes that are present, but I'm still just not seeing a whole lot of sustained damage capability. They're really into these support heroes. Not that Khalid, I guess I would say that he's not a support hero, but he's played a lot like a support. You know, a lot of people like to play him semi-tank or even full tank just to have a nice strong initiator because he's got that little CC as well as his healing capability. It really depends on how they decide to build him right now, because if they do go for a full tank build, I might be missing the damage portion again for their composition. But all that said, hearsay, let's get into the match. The Shadow 9 guys not wasting any time on getting 4-man present to the mid side of the map. They're trying to get that Kaja nice and deep to try and give a little bit of vision. He doesn't see anybody, so he's going to go home, say, hey, no one's home. I went knocking, knock, knock. No one's there. So with that being said, Gyujin's got no issue safely securing his first creep. With that being said, Alyssa putting herself in a little bit of present. Faramis showing face, trying to shoo her off to give Gyujin, you know, the safety and the peace of mind to know that he's not going to deal with an invasion right on top of his face. Kaja being present with the Bruno, trying to get a little bit of damage, doesn't have his Divine Judgment yet, can't really pull her into a position where Bruno can really shine. With that said, we're looking at a 3v2 starting to go down on the gold lane. Akai, you know, working his jungle, trying to get himself a little rotation. Faramis pairs up with the Kaja, trying to lock him in on Papa Steffi, but just can't do it yet. Bruno fighting to do damage, but without his early game items, even against the Ixia, even with the immediate damage boost, against these 2- and 3-man situations, he just doesn't have the damage yet to really execute the way that he wants to. Mobaguild doing a better job at working together this game, showing face and being a little bit more responsive. Day tries to lock down Alan, but doesn't do it effectively enough and timely enough for the team to get in there and really punish him. But what he did do was escape the potential 3v1. So you know what? Props to Day for that. Day trying to be a little bit more invasive, but you really got to be careful with that Kaja because he will drag you into that turret. And I can't speak for you guys, but I can't remember the last time that I enjoyed being dragged forcefully into somebody's turret. We're seeing a lot of team presence, 4-man team presence, merging up and fighting for the turtle. Gyujin locks it in. Akai pins down Cooking and trying to get an easy kill on the Gyujin, and he does do it. Faramis popped the Netherrealm and saved his team, and while they knock down that Akai, at the same time, Arlet secures, Poppy Steffi, Lilia goes down as well. With that said, Shadow 9 puts up an over 1,000 gold lead at the 3-minute mark. And just like I was talking about that damage that Bruno doesn't have yet, he decides to take Ha's Claws as his first primary item, which is going to give him a little bit of crit capability and a little bit of sustain. So he's not going to be so dependent on his team being present to not be pressured into a bad situation. Props for that. A nice first item pick. A little bit of pressure coming from Papa Steffi. Lilia's trying to put the work on him, but that sustain is too much, and she's got to retreat. Akai trying to get a nice pin on the Kaja, but again, just a little premature in the action, and the team can't utilize it. We see a 3-man stack trying to happen up near the mid. Akai, he's trying to secure his stuff. Meanwhile, Arlet's he's deciding what he wants to do. He doesn't know if he wants to go hunting for a kill or trying to fight Khalid for his little kingdom. We see a 3-man stack on the opposite side of the house trying to go down. We see Gyujin paired with a Kaja and the Bruno looking to get off a whole lot of damage, and they do get a nice decisive kill on the Angela. Akai, Day trying to be present, taking a whole lot of damage, hemmed up, goes down to the Gyujin. Ixia, full barrage, pops up, but not before getting yoinked by Kaja's Divine Judgment and goes down with them. Beautiful gameplay from Shadow 9. Faramis silencing the Khalid and not letting him go anywhere. Drops again. 2-8 in favor of Shadow 9. And just like that, they're going to put some pressure on the second turtle. 5 minutes into the game, 2-8, we see Shadow 9 leading by almost 5,000 gold. An astounding early game advantage point. And they do lock in the second turtle. Arlet trying to cause up a little bit of ruckus, knowing that he's not going to be able to fight the entire enemy team, but trying to keep enough presence that the enemy team doesn't go and start preventing them from effectively taking this top turret, which they just did. Bruno putting in a whole lot of pressure on Pyro. Pyro decides he wants to go for the heal, backed by Angela's heart guard, but goes down regardless. Angela, at this point, just wanted to get away from the whole thing because a bad day is coming. Ixia, full barrage pops. Lilia getting a whole lot of damage up, hemming up the enemy team. You know, gonna have to pop her magic, her black shoes. Man, oh man. Shadow 9 is hunting. Black shoes pops, barely saves her from Gyujin, and Gyujin actually goes down under tower. Oh, did you guys just see what I saw? Berserker's Fury slotted in lieu of the Haas Claws for the Bruno. What does that mean for them? That means it's about to start hurting. It's about to get vicious up in the Land of Dawn. 30 seconds away from having the next turtle coming up, and they are just trying to sustain a little bit of fight. Heavy spin, trying to keep Akai alive. Faramis pops Nether Realms, fighting the Iniquity. Gyujin takes down Lilia. Akai drops Kaja. Akai drops the Arlet. Beautiful set play. Faramis fighting for his life, but goes down to the Ixia. Oh man, what is that? Bruno silences the Akai, but not before the Ixia drags him into a black hole. Gyujin having a heyday. Oh, Khalid trying to put some pressure on the Gyujin. Elise in on that too. They're trying to slow him down, and they are going to be able to secure him. Nowhere Gyujin could go, nowhere was safe from the Mobaguild folks. 22,000 to 25,000. Mobaguild starting to make a comeback. 3,000 gold behind, starting to recapture their healthy habits. Starting on this second one, Akai pops his heavy spin, tries to stun down only one left, but not able to do it fast enough. Angela having to pop Heart Guard to keep things safe. Ixia tries to pop the full barrage, but not soon enough. Akai does get a kill, but is going to be killed for it. Was it worth it? Only time will tell. 8 to 15, 24,000 gold to 27,000 gold. Shadow 9 just captures the first tower on the side of Mobaguild. What does that mean? Invasions are coming. And when I say invasions, I mean invasions. I'm talking about hopping over the Great Wall of China to invade. Not a good time for the Mobaguild folks right now. Diving in deep. Oh man, what is this? They tried to get in there, but Akai, heavy spin, perfect timing, hemmed him up, boosted by the Heart Guard, popping off a whole lot of damage, and Bruno drops. No questions asked, nothing he could do about it, and Elise is gonna get out of there like nothing happened. I'm cooking, looking to make a play, looking to do something, trying to get a little bit of damage off, but Kaja knew he couldn't get in there and do enough to make it happen, decided to take the back roads and go home. Man, oh man, Mobaguild back in the match just like that. doing what they do beautifully. We see a little bit of cross-map pressure. They understand that the Faramis was going to, or somebody was going to come looking for it. They found the Faramis, and they're going to try to get a nice early kill on him. But Faramis does finally make his way out of that fight. Kaja giving him a little bit of coverage. Khalid not really sure where he wants to go at the moment. Kaja trying to keep vision on the enemy team. As long as he can tell his team that, hey, they've got 4 people over here, that information is enough for them to either stage an early fight. Oh man, Khalid, he popped in, tried to put himself in place, but a little bit of premature. Day gets a beautiful heavy spin, but not being denied by the Netherrealm. Ryan does go down. They get a little bit of damage, but Akai's got to get out of there. Any more damage, and he's out of the fight. I'm cooking. Cooks out and burns for trying to get that kill. Day baited him, and Mobaguild denied him. Alan gonna have to recall with the Faramis. Lord still on the map. Not a lustrous Lord. Not yet. But 1 minute out. See, what do you think the big difference that the Lustrous Lord is going to make? What's the difference between Lustrous Lord and the normal Lord? Let's talk about it. Huge damage, huge health. That's the difference. That's it. You're talking about a better Lord. It's the difference between, you know, the stepdad and the biological father. You know, it's not saying that the stepdad's, you know, more power to him. But some kids don't listen. Mobaguild, present on the mid side of the map, watching the bait happen, trying to dive right into it. Pyro, a little bit early, gets punished and shut down by Faramis. Heavy spin, locked in, going to try to punish Alan, but not being able to do it fast enough. Netherrealm saving Faramis. You're looking at this, Faramis locks down the Lilia. 2 people on the map. Not a great time for the Mobaguild to try to contest this Lord. It's definitely in their best position right now. Play it safe and salvage what you can. You do not want to get into this 2v5 fight. You will not enjoy the outcome. Bruno trying to let these minions downrange to get a little bit of pressure so that way they can start making their way in. Day a little bit too deep, taking the damage from Bruno, gets shut out. And just like that, they're going to lose their 2nd tier tower. Tough. Just like that, Shadow 9 is re-securing the advantage that they have in gold over Mobaguild, back up by about 5,000 again. Tough. Fusion trying to clear a path for this Lord to make his way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and he's homebound. They're looking at a beautiful minion press. Minions showing up on every single tower, escorted by a Lord on the top side of the map, while they have to respond to and try to deal with this Lord who's making his way in. All of these towers are about ready to drop. A little bit of pressure and it's gonna go. And one tower does go. A whole lot of damage coming from that full barrage. But you know what? At least they took down the Lord. Lilia popping her black shoes to keep herself in the fight, but is it too late? Bruno wreaking hell on the Nexus, securing the 2nd game for Shadow 9. Victory has been established. What a game. What? It's disheartening, man. It's so disheartening at this point because the Mobaguild guys, they played so well and they kept themselves in it really well. Even when they were starting to get drowned out, were able to, recollect themselves for even though it was for a limited time, and re-engage themselves back into the fight. But again, not having enough damage-based characters it definitely makes it hard. Lilia's got really fantastic damage, a sustained damage for those, team fights. And Lilia, having her ability, that full barrage can really do a whole lot of damage quickly. But if we look at the Khalid, right, Khalid only had one damage item, that Blade of Hephaestus, and everything else was tank related. It looked like he was starting to develop another attack-based item, but again, without that damage, it makes it really hard to sustain out long-term in those team fights, even when boosted by Angela.
Alrighty, everybody. So, for our viewers, we do have a special reward for you guys this evening. So, we want to show our appreciation and we want to thank you guys for tuning into these qualifying matches. I know the other match is not until 12 a.m. and we don't want to make you guys wait until then. So, I will go ahead and show you guys how to redeem this code. So, you're going to want to open your ML profile just like this. You're going to go to settings and then redemption code. So, let me go ahead and put that code up for you guys. So, I will put the code up for a while so you can type it in. It is very long. So, that is a code for everybody watching the stream. You can take a screenshot. Anything you need to, that way you can, make sure you enter it correctly. But Merry Christmas to everybody, and also let's hand it over to Ezekiel so he can tell you Merry Christmas as well. Hang on, I gotta add the Discord audio to this scene.
My God. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! T9 wants to take the time to just show the appreciation to all of the viewers, because if it weren't for you guys, the audience, our beloved community members, we wouldn't exist. So with that being said, we are so happy that you guys have decided to join us today, and throughout the lengths of this tournament, we are so excited to see who is going to rise to the top out of these 40 teams. And we're even happier to see you guys having a good Christmas. So with that said, I'm going to send it back to Moonpie.
Yep, like he said, we appreciate you guys. And we're very happy you guys are a part of our community, the NA community. You keep us going. Without you, we wouldn't be able to host these tournaments. We wouldn't have the viewers. We wouldn't have the teams, the participation. So you guys are the ones that we are leaning on, and this is how we're going to show our thanks. So make sure you redeem that code now. And I am going to go ahead and end the stream. The code will still be up if you just backtrack a little bit and pause the video, but I will go live later. We unfortunately won't have any casting, but I will still get the stream gameplay for the next match, which is going to be Night Horde X versus Eternals at 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Alrighty. Thank you guys, and we'll see you later.